Welcome back to the live streaming charity Cancer Gets Lost webcast. Whatever, charity webcast. I've been talking for a long time and I still will. We are here with Mr. Neil Hopkins, who many of you know as Liam Pace, the other half of Drive Shaft, and you might be surprised to hear his accent, Neil.
Hello, Governor. No, I'm American.
He's American.
Yes, born and raised.
Born and raised. That was a very good accent.
Very good.
Thank you.
Was it the first time you'd done an accent? For
No,
television?
it wasn't. Well, for TV, yeah, it was the first time I did an accent for TV, but I'd been doing, my version of a British accent for a long time.
Nice.
I'm sure if you ask a lot of British people, it's not very good.
Fooled us.
But it's an American show, so.
When I first met you, I was floored that you were American, so that's a good job.
That's cool. I like to floor people.
Yeah, exactly. Before we get into your current projects, because you are a busy man, we would like to point out that in our charity auction, details are on cancergetslost.org. You can bid on this item on biddingforgood.com/cancergetslost. A very, very limited edition poster of Drive Shaft.
It's not even an addition.
It's just a poster that was featured in an episode on Liam Pace's apartment wall.
Fire plus water.
Fire and water.
Fire and water.
Yeah. And actually in the Lost Encyclopedia, which most of you own and you can now own a signed copy of via our auction, 100% for charity, there's a picture of this said poster over his lovely face. So we're going to open this up and show it to you, and he's going to sign it right here and now. I believe the bids are at like a $600 range, which is amazing. Thank you to script supervisor and writer,
But
producer.
once I sign it, it's going to.
Exactly. Greg Nations generously donated this, and Jared went to a bar and stalked Dom Monahan, and Dom Monahan generously signed it.
Is that how you did it?
He did. He said, Dom Monahan said on Twitter, I'm going to be
was.
at bar A. Jay went to bar A and politely waited, had a drink, brought the poster, and Dom graciously signed it.
And then a lot of drinks after that.
And then we had a lot of drinks after that. But now the other half of Drive Shaft is going to sign it, and it's still in the auction. And I think, here
Here we go.
Dom's signature. It's the Drive Across America tour. Cabo Hall, Motor City, August 15th, 2000. And Dom signed You All Everybody.
And a little Mickey Mouse.
Little Mickey Mouse. Or
This
not.
is when Drive Shaft peaked,
Right, in 2000.
and then it was just.
Downhill
Straight.
from there.
And
so
the diaper commercials.
Neil is going to sign it. And
Where
then
would you like me to sign?
On the other side,
wherever
right
you
here.
like. You
here?
can own this
Right
limited edition Drive Shaft poster, fans. I know someone out there wants that custom framed on their wall. I know you do. Bids are open now. They're open until August 29th, which is next Wednesday. And Neil is also going to sign the
done.
Blu-ray,
It's done.
The deed is
Blu-ray
done. Oh,
cover set. There you go.
like black or yeah.
Black, yeah.
Whatever. Jared's in charge of the logistics for that.
Where would you like me to sign
We
it?
also have
Anyway, like
a
a T here,
authentic
maybe?
costume card with a piece of shirt that Liam Pace wore that he's going to sign for us that we'll have in the auction.
Just a piece of it?
Just a
Just a
piece.
piece of it.
Just
Is it a
piece of you.
screaming fan tore off?
Exactly. So before we get into your current project, of which there are many, we would love to talk about, what it was like to recur as Liam Pace and film the scenes where actually, are you a musician? Do you play guitar? Do you sing?
I sing. I've been a singer for most of my life,
Okay.
but I didn't sing You All Everybody. I was really hoping that I would be able to, but when I got there, they already had the track recorded, and then they that was the playback track that we lip synced to. So,
Okay.
and I kept thinking like maybe in ADR they were going to let me actually sing it, but then they never did.
Oh.
And so my friends who knew that I'm a singer from college and stuff like that, when they saw the show, they were like, "That's not you. It doesn't sound anything like you."
But you
So-
did get to dance in diapers.
I did get to dance in diapers, and
Which is
something
something.
very few people
Have a chance.
until they're very, very elderly get to do.
That is true.
Yeah, so that was fun, but no, it was just an awesome ride. I came onto it at the time; it hadn't even aired yet when I did the first episode, so it wasn't a foregone conclusion that this was going to be a hit because shows get hyped up the wazoo and then they get canceled after 2 episodes.
Right.
So it was really cool that it became what it became because I don't think anybody really expected it.
And Drive Shaft became one of those things that everyone glommed onto and
Yeah.
loved and wanted to know more about. And every
Well,
time they
fake bands are so much fun.
Exactly.
I wish they had done more, actually.
Yeah.
Like, I was always hoping we'd get to record, like, a fake album or something like
yeah.
that.
That would be awesome.
But no such luck.
Oh, man.
But, because Dom's a musician, and
Yes.
I'm, kind of a musician, and so we were kind of hoping that maybe we would get to do something like that, but that never happened.
Right.
But yeah, it was a blast. It was just a great. It was every time I got to come back, it was it was a freebie as far as I was concerned.
Right, Hawaii.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you were, I had the privilege of hanging out with Neil at the series finale party at Jay and Jack's.
Yeah.
And I looked at him, my jaw dropped. I didn't know you were going to be in the finale. I did not know there was a drive shaft number.
Yeah.
That was a nice secret.
Yeah, it was a it was like it's funny because my role, I was joking, my role got smaller and smaller with every passing episode that I was in. So that by the finale, I think I was in it for like 2 or 3 seconds. But
you didn't even talk.
yeah, it was pretty funny because that was such a monumental episode. I remember, you know what a call sheet is? So on set, they have a sheet, for those of you who don't know, of all the casts that are called that day to work. And in the finale, there were over 70 people on the call sheet. Usually there's like 20.
That's quite a scene.
Yeah.
Wow.
And so not for that one scene, but yeah, it was a pretty huge episode. So it was just cool to be a part of it, even though like I wasn't in it that much.
Right.
It was sort of like television history.
Right.
Did you film something that ended up not making it there? Or something
We
like
had a
that?
small little interaction on stage that they ended up cutting. Just because there was so much going on in the episode, and I kind of had a hunch they'd end up cutting something, just because it wasn't super crucial to the plot line, to Dom's storyline.
Right.
So, but it was a blast. It was great to be a part of it. I got to work with Jack Bender again, who's just awesome, and I hope I get to work with him again in the future. But yeah, it was just a blessing all around just to be a part of that show.
Do you get recognized? You don't really, I mean, Liam had a lot of guy liner on and,
Yeah.
looked
He
like a
did have
druggie.
glasses.
I usually wear a lot more guy liner.
The real life Richard Alpert.
It's hard times. So.
Yeah. It's expensive.
I do get recognized probably like once or twice a month.
Okay.
I get recognized on average, and it's almost always at a grocery store. I don't know what it is about grocery stores.
That's so funny.
But somehow I always, and it's usually the person at the checkout counter, and sometimes people will just like look at me and go, like,
The nod.
like I know, and then sometimes people go, "You old everybody."
Amazing.
And depending on like what situation I'm
Right.
in my life at that particular moment, I may like nod and smile, or I may just be like, "Oh God, I acknowledge that." But it's fun. It's funny just to be, it's such a cool little thing of pop culture to be
Right.
a part of.
I mean, you're a Jeopardy question, the drive shaft is in the lexicon.
Was
Really?
was it
Yeah.
an actual
I believe
Jeopardy
it was
question?
a Jeopardy question.
Oh my
yeah.
God.
Something about the fictional band in Lost.
That's as
yeah.
close as I'll ever get to being on Jeopardy.
There you go. You never know.
never know.
You are a prolific, busy man. You are appearing on a million really cool shows. Upcoming.
million and
a million
three.
and
A million and three.
including Grimm and Bones.
Yeah, I was,
and Necessary Roughness.
Yeah, and I was just on a couple weeks ago. I was on Leverage, had a big guest star on Leverage, and that was a lot of fun. Yeah, I had a nice role on Grimm, which I'm hoping will come back in the next season. It's kind of become a hot show.
Oh yeah,
so
second season.
they're packing it with Losties. I don't
they
know
are?
if you've noticed that.
Yeah.
I'm one of, I think, 5 Losties who have been on the show. So
You had us
Daniel
at
Roebuck
Losties.
was on it.
Of course.
And,
He's, like
He's on
you,
everything.
he's on everything. Right?
Yeah, exactly.
It's
yeah,
good.
we do a lot of guest stars.
Yeah.
So. Yeah, so
And you're on Bones.
I was on
on
Bones, earlier in the year, and then I was on Grimm, and then I was on. I'll be on Necessary Roughness. I don't know when that's going to
Okay.
air. I've never seen it, but I've heard it's a pretty good show.
USA, yeah.
Yeah, and then got a couple movies that haven't come out yet. One's called Detour. It's my first starring role in a
Oh.
film, and hopefully they're trying to get distribution right now.
Okay.
And they're hopefully it will get a December release, but I'm not really sure.
Okay.
So you can follow me on Facebook or Twitter.
We need to get you a fan page, man.
Yeah,
You want me to create? I do Andrea's if I you want
get
yours.
on that.
I'm going to apparently create a Facebook fan page for Neil Hopkins. Stay tuned.
No, I think there is one
Is it
actually.
real?
Well, it's not you, right?
I mean, it's not me.
Right.
But no, I haven't. See, my Facebook thing is like, I'm too lazy to like separate fans
With
from
friends, yeah.
and family. And so it's just everything. So fans know a lot more about my personal life than they probably should
Nah.
or care to. and so I kind of, it's sort of just a double use Facebook
Right.
page. But eventually I'm going to have to split it
Separate it
because
out.
I have
Right.
too many friends.
There's a lot of friends.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong
But
with that.
yeah, so
And then tell us more. You do a lot of really, really funny things on funnyordie.com, and you have a web series. Tell us about that.
I have a couple different web series. One's called Hipster Detail. that I'm not really in it. I have like a small recurring role in it, but it's starring this very talented Will Greenberg and my buddy John Forrest, who's like my comedy partner. And it's a very funny web series, if I say so myself. So I write, direct, produce, and edit.
Wow.
Everything, shoot it, do everything but act in it. I have a small recurring role in it because I really like, that's where my real passion actually lies, is actually just creating stuff. Sometimes it's too hard to do in front of the camera and behind the camera at the same time. It's just I get too stressed out and overwhelmed. And then I have a web series called Neil and John, which we're currently trying to sell as a TV series. And we have a few meetings set up in the next couple of weeks that we're very hopeful about. So, hopefully in the next year or so, you're going to see Neil and John on TV.
Excellent.
But yeah, so go to www.neilandjohn.com and you can check out all of our shorts. They're very, very weird and I think very funny and bizarre. And
The FIFA one was very, very bizarre.
Very funny.
yeah, thank you.
And you've played some fun characters. Didn't you play Kurt Cobain at one point?
No, we
Or
did
was
it.
that
Like
just-
We Are the
Well,
World.
we did a Christmas short called Hobo Christmas for our, it was a Neil and John short that came out last Christmas. And John and I played 26 different characters. We shot it all on green screen, and it was this like acid trip hallucination of like a We Are the World / Feed the World type 1980s,
Lovely.
celebrity
Awesome.
singing thing for charity, and it was to raise money for hobos. And so we shot it all in my garage, and we played 26 different characters.
Wow.
Each of us played 13 different characters. We played all these different rock stars and celebrities and stuff. So check it out, Hobo Christmas. It's very funny.
Google that.
And so I played Kurt Cobain in that, and Garfunkel and Stevie Nicks and all these other, Elvis, a lot of different people.
Very nice.
Yeah.
There was a Boy George in there. Were you
Boy
Boy George?
So diverse.
Yeah. So yeah, it's a fun chance. So comedy is really where my passion lies, and always has. And I have a very sort of bizarre sense of humor, and so because I've learned how to edit and I've learned sort of the basics of behind the camera type stuff, it's made it a lot easier to explore that. So,
That's great.
because I don't get cast in a lot of comedies on TV just
It's
because.
funny because you're funny.
Well, it's funny once you get cast as something like a drug-addled rock star. You end up getting cast in a lot of dark roles,
Right.
And so they like to pigeonhole you. So
Yeah, there's
I love doing those roles,
Right.
but
Go to
it's
something else.
that's the great thing about the internet
Right.
now is it costs so little and it takes so much so little effort really
Right.
to. There's a very small entry, what is it, price of entry or whatever, cost of entry, to get a show up and running,
Yeah.
on the web and get to do the kind of stuff that you don't get cast in TV.
Right.
So,
That's great. Well,
Yeah.
you were everywhere, and everyone loves the shows you're on, so it's great.
Yeah,
And check out all the web series and go to the Neil Hopkins Facebook page.
Yeah.
And there's links to everything, and he puts up all the time. He shares links to everything he's doing, which is
I'm
great.
constantly whoring myself.
As are we all.
I'm a shameless self-promoter. I'll be the first to admit it.
Dude, I mean,
You
look
got
at
it. You got to hustle.
We like branding. We are doing the same thing.
Yeah.
CancerGetsLost.org right now for all your relevant links, including the auction, including Drive Shaft, You All Everybody, signed by Dom and signed by Neil. Very rare, one of a kind. Encyclopedias, trading cards, you name it. I mean, we have everything, and thanks to you for generously signing everything and taking your time to come here. And you will see
Absolute
him soon
pleasure.
on Grimm, I believe, is coming up.
No, I was on Grimm in
I
April.
apologize. He was
but the
on
second
Grimm.
season's coming out. I just said I hope to come back. I didn't die. So.
Okay. I'm getting a notice from Vanna White over there that we are $36 away from raising $27,000.
Bid on something.
Which is amazing. And again, we're not being greedy when we are promoting these items because we are thrilled and beyond surprised by the response so far to the charity auction, and that 100% of it goes to the National Brain Tumor
We are
Society.
completely non-profit at all.
Is tremendous, and we are so thankful to be able to do that. $36 away from $27,000. Thank you. And for those who are concerned about price points, we actually still have a few trading cards at the $4 level. The price of shipping is included for items except for the larger furniture and some of the books. It's included and factored into your price, and you can own a piece of, in our opinion, the greatest show on television. So far, and really support an amazing cause that's very close to our hearts. So that is on biddingforgood.com/CancerGetsLost. And you can find us on Twitter @CancerGetsLost. and of course, cancergetslost.org. Thanks, Neil, for coming by and hanging out with us. We
pleasure.
appreciate it.
It
Thank
was
you.
a pleasure. Thank you for having me.
And we will, every time you have something, let us know, we'll promote it.
Oh, that's great. I mean,
Yeah.
I just think it's so great to just be a part of this, and I'm so proud of you guys for far exceeding your expectations. My God.
Thank
that's
you.
amazing.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. We appreciate
Yeah,
it.
cool.
All right, we'll be back shortly. We have a video, and we'll be back with our final guest, Andrea Gabriel, aka Nadia,
Nora.
aka one of the vampires in the final Breaking Dawn Twilight movies.
Kebby.
Kebby.
Kebby?
Yes, along with
I don't
Maggie
watch it.
Grace, which we'll talk about. We'll be back in a minute.
She's not gonna.
Maggie's not with us, but we'll be back to talk about her.